I mean, yeah, just give up. That's it. Thanks. Nah, he's gotta. Actually, that's not it. Giving up. Now, that usually comes with some negative connotations when you hear people talk about giving up, right? Usually is associated with being a quitter, not following through on something, right? You've never finished anything, you've never seen it through to the end, or you're just gonna quit on this like everything else. That's not what I mean. What do I mean? Well, thank you for asking. Thank you so much. I was hoping you'd ask. I'm talking about giving up in a different sense. What I mean by that is another way that I've heard it put very often, especially like Eastern literature, is not trying. And you might have heard this before, the art of not trying. The reason that this is such a popular mindset for people when they're having a hard time is usually when you go through life and you have struggles and there's something that you just can't seem to figure out, and over you just redo it and retry it, analyze the situation, really break it down, just take a step back, learn from it, and then try to attack again, and it doesn't work, and then you reach a point where you're like, I've tried everything, every way to do it, it just doesn't seem like it's working. Well, have you tried not trying? And this is an interesting thing because I feel like a lot of people that arrive at this point naturally find this way of thinking of not trying. And then they make a fatal mistake. They go out and they try to not try, which is missing the whole point in all actuality. Because in reality, it's like trying to do nothing or trying to sleep. I mean, go try it. When you go lay down and you know you have to get up early in the morning and it's late and you look at the clock and you're like, oh man, I only have this long to sleep, and you do the math, you're like, if I fall asleep in 10 minutes, whatever, I'll get this much time, and that's close enough to be at least a little bit rested. It's better than nothing. And you'll try to fall asleep and you try to fall asleep, and the harder you try to fall asleep, the less likely it is that you fall asleep and you just sit there and burn more and more time. It's like trying to relax and do nothing. You're already failing because you're still trying to do something. So when people go out and they give up and they try to not try, you've started by failing. You've started by trying to do nothing or trying not to try. And that's why when people try this method out, I'm saying try a lot in this video, fly, they feel like it doesn't work and they give up right away. The actual art to not trying, which is why it's called an art, it takes practice, discipline, and a lot of failure, is by actually giving up and just releasing whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. Whatever your goal is, whatever problem you're trying to fix, whatever prize you're trying to attain, maybe a promotion, maybe a relationship, maybe just a new level in a video game. And the Elden Ring fans out there, or Dark Souls 1, will know when you get frustrated and you keep pushing harder, usually you fail a lot faster. But when you go in with no expectation to actually get what it is you're craving and you just go with the flow, usually when you actually truly achieve the art of giving up, things start to actually work. And it's the wildest thing. You just have to get over that first hurdle of getting caught up in trying to formulate the process around your preconceived notions of how it should go. And that's going to get you every time, because as soon as something doesn't go the way that you want, you're going to see it as failure. But you can't fail if you didn't set out in an attempt to do anything. You're just going. You're just there. And that's when things start to actually work out. if you're having a hard time, for example, getting promoted at work, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go out, you're going to do all this performative measures, all this extra work, all these things that make you stand out. You're peacocking, attempting to get out there and show everyone around you, especially your boss and those in charge of moving you up, that you really want this and you're really putting forward some effort. And most of the time, that's going to get you nowhere because your boss appreciates the effort you're putting in at your level and is really enjoying the extra output they're getting by giving you no more. So that it's a win-win for them. And the people around you don't like you. Your coworkers don't like you because you're outperforming them and you're making them look bad. So it's a lose-lose for you because odds are you're probably not going to get that promotion either. It's going to go to someone else who was already way past giving up. They just show up, do what they need to do, don't have the stress of putting in a ton of extra effort, expecting a reward, and then they just go home. No problems, dependable, no drama. Whatever they're asked to do, they do because they don't care. They have no goal, no agenda, no end of the road that they're aiming for and looking for feedback on and beating themselves up over not getting it at a certain time or in a certain path that they were expecting. They're going to get it because they quit a long time ago. They're just there. So when I say just give up, you have to truly give up. Let it all go. Just be. And that's when things will start to happen. Not everything, because you're not in charge of everything. You're actually in charge of very little. Take stock of what you're in charge of, and it's actually mildly depressing, but it's also freeing, because then you realize there's a lot of stuff you really shouldn't be worried about anyway, and you're causing yourself a whole heap of extra stress for things that the stress isn't going to change at all, and usually it's just going to make your day worse. But if you give up all that and you just put in your best attempt to not attempt, fail at that, and then quit anything, you get to get in the flow of things. And it sounds like a bunch of Eastern spirituality, but in all reality, you really shouldn't knock it until you try it. Put in some effort. Cut out a portion of your year. 3 months. First month's going to be rough. But just keep trying to not try until you get fed up with it. And then let it go. You'd be surprised. That relationship might happen. Or another one might come along that you never would have even noticed because you were so caught up and horse-blinded on one that wasn't going to happen anyway. And usually the other one that comes along later is better off for you in the long run. So at the end of the day, you have lower stress, less worry. You're not down on your luck all the time because there's nothing you're failing at because you quit. And you're just going with the flow and enjoying the day as it comes along. Just give it a shot.